Hi guys, welcome back to Too Cool for Middle School. I'm doing a video today with Latanya from Smartie Style. If you are coming over from her channel, hello, welcome. I'm Megan and I'm a middle school teacher, and this channel is for school things and then makeup and style and kids and parenting and all that kind of stuff too. So we do a little bit of everything over here. And I know Smartie Style's vlogs are really similar. She kind of shows you like behind the scenes of her life. We are actually going to meet next week at the Teachers Pay Teachers Conference. Neither of us got to go. I'm teaching summer school, so I wasn't able to. But while so many people are kind of coming together in one place, we're just going to do a little meetup. So I'm really excited to meet her in person. And the question that we're covering today, I feel like needs at least two perspectives. So since I teach middle school, I kind of have the way that I've experienced things, and she teaches at an elementary school. She teaches 5th grade, and so she might see things a little bit differently and be able to kind of add another layer to the conversation. So while we have this like amazing teacher community on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter, and we all like choose to kind of, hang out together on videos and in our pictures and stuff like that and share our lives with each other, when you are at your actual school and you have to work with people every day, sometimes it's a little bit different. And there have been a lot of people who have asked me about that, like how do you avoid negative relationships with people at your school, and how do you build good positive relationships with those people that you have to be with in the teacher's lounge every day. So I have a couple of ideas for you, a few do's and don'ts. And I was trying to think about why is it that it can be kind of hard to get along with people at schools sometimes, and two things came to mind. So the first one is that it's not like a normal office when you're at a school or like a normal place of business. I don't really know what it's like to have a normal job besides teaching. This is all I've done. So it's kind of strange that unless you become an administrator, like we just all have the same job always. So you've got people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that are all at the same level, really, like we're all teachers. That's our job title. We all have basically the same responsibilities, but some of us have much more experience than others. Some grew up a completely different way than others. Some were taught to teach a completely different way than others. So we just have so many different perspectives all at that same level that might be a little bit weird. I could be wrong, but I don't think that is the case as much in other jobs. And then the other thing is, when you do come together like at a staff meeting or at lunchtime or something, we have all been in charge all day long. So from the second we got to school, kids were saying hi to you, they were coming up to you and giving you an excuse about why they didn't have their homework or how they need to use your phone because they forgot their backpack and they need to call their mom. And then during class, you have to make decisions at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You are responsible to know everything, and you're just like the decision maker all day long, and you're in charge all day long. So when 35 of those people come together, 10 minutes after the bell rang, and you all come together for a staff meeting, I feel like sometimes it's hard to get into employee mode when you've kind of been the boss all day. So I think that can also bring sort of a weird dynamic to staff meetings, or even just to the teacher's lounge. Now I have to say that at the middle schools that I've worked at, I've always had pretty good experiences with the other teachers. I don't know if this is normal, but I've worked at 3 middle schools, and the staffs at all 3 of them have really been very warm and welcoming, very much like a family. Maybe the only hard thing is that being the new person, you're not in on all of the jokes that they've had forever, and you don't know about all the things and the traditions that they've been doing for so many years. So I guess there can kind of be a double-edged sword if the staff is really close and you're the new person, just because you're not in on everything that they've been doing. And in that case, you just have to have patience. That's probably how all of those people felt when they were new, and when you add another person into the mix, it just changes the dynamic a little bit, and you kind of re-gel your team every year. So there are a couple of things that I would suggest that you do in order to help like build good relationships with the other teachers at your school. And the first one is just to help out in any way that you can. Do favors whenever you're able to. If somebody asks you to cover their class because they have a doctor's appointment and they need to like leave during your prep period or something, do them that favor. If there's a kid they need to send to your class for some reason, say, sure, come on in, let them come to me. They need help with some kind of like a computer program that you know how to use, or some kind of curriculum that you could give them a hand with. Just be as helpful as you can be. And I think that goes a long way, especially because you're gonna need help eventually too. It's just inevitable in teaching. Even though we're in our own classrooms and we kind of do our own thing, there are always times when like it would be really nice if you could like get some curriculum from somebody, or if you could ask them about this kid's parent that they met with, or maybe you're trying to do some kind of a project and you need other people to help you with it. So if you kind of invest a little bit first and you do some favors for people, then hopefully they'll be a little more willing to help you out when you need it. Plus, you just want to be known as a helpful person. You don't want to be somebody that like, they're trying to think of like, okay, who could help out with this? And they think of you and they're like, oh no, they never want to do anything besides just teach and go home. So you want to be known as somebody that's like a team player and willing to help out. Another thing I would say is to bring food whenever it's appropriate, and I can't think of a time when it's not appropriate. If you've got some fruit trees and you've got a bunch of extra, bring those into the teacher's lounge and like put a little cute note by it or a sign or something that tells everybody to help themselves. Or if you like to bake muffins and you don't want to eat all of them, bring some extra in the morning so people can grab those. At my school they have this tradition that I didn't know about until this year. I feel like I was always learning what the traditions were, but that the new teachers provide food for everybody else. So we had 4 new teachers this year, plus a couple of people that like have only been working there 1 or 2 years. I don't know how long this lasts. I don't know how long I'm considered new, but we ordered like a bunch of pizzas and got some salads and drinks and stuff, and we just all split the cost, so it wasn't too much per person. And we just provided lunch one day for all of the staff and just thanked them for welcoming us onto their team and being there for us. And I think that goes a long way. Another thing that I think goes a long way is to support the things that other teachers are passionate about. So if you have a music teacher at your school that's putting on a performance, go to that performance. Like, yes, for the students, because the students love seeing their teachers outside of class, like watching them do something that they're really good at, but also you support that staff member, and you don't get to see them practicing every day in class, but you get to see like the fruit of all their labor. And if you see them during the event, let them know how great it was, or send them an email or something, but be supportive of what they do. If somebody puts on a play, go see the play. If someone is coaching a sports team, try and make it out to the home games. So on the flip side, there are probably some things that you could avoid doing. And I know for me, I mean, obviously I have a YouTube channel, so that I'm willing to like speak up. I'm not afraid to give my opinion in staff meetings or whatever. But since I kind of know that I'm that type of a person, I try to limit how much I say in staff meetings, like maybe just one thing. Because the people that are like constantly taking over staff meetings, like no one likes that. No one likes the people who drag out the staff meeting past the time that it's supposed to be. Like, it might really be an important issue, but if you treat everything like a super, super important issue, then your words like start to not have as much weight. So I try to really like save my comments for something that I really want to weigh in on. And I do try to always like use humor with my comments. I don't know if everyone appreciates that, but I try not to make everything seem like a life or death situation. Like sometimes you have staff members that do that and you're just kind of like, all right, calm down. But yeah, like, choose your comments wisely. And so I think what a lot of people were getting at with their questions and comments about this topic is like, how do you handle really negative teachers and people who are on your staff that kind of drag everything down and are very negative and are really hard to work with? So continuing with the don'ts is just don't perpetuate their behavior. And that seems so obvious, but I catch myself wanting to do that, or like that's kind of my instinct to do that. So if somebody is a whiner and then I'm whining about how they're a whiner, that's not going to help anything at all. And like I said, I have had pretty positive like staff experiences, but I did have to go to like combined staff development things, like full day long PD things with another school and their teachers. And oh my goodness, I don't know if it's just because I was like an outsider or whatever, but those teachers were really negative and really mean and like rude to the presenters and like cut each other off and interrupted people, and they were just negative all the time, and I was really shocked actually. So it was kind of miserable to work with them, but the thing that I always tried to remember was like, okay, don't be like them. Like if I ever caught myself kind of doing some of the same behaviors that they did, I'd be like, ooh, remember how unattractive that was to me and how unhelpful that was? I guess that's one good purpose that they serve, is that they show you what not to do and what not to act like. And then the last thing to not do is to not try to change them. I think as teachers, a lot of us are trying to change people. Like we're trying to change our students from struggling readers into competent readers or whatever. And that kind of carries over into our relationships with other people sometimes, but you can't change how other people are. You don't know why they are the way they are, and nothing that you say, no matter how convincing, is going to, you know, change their bad behavior if that's what it is. But I've been going through the Leader in Me training, and it's based on Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one thing that he talks about is being a transition person. So, you know, you're not going to be a changer. You can't change your coworker, but you could be a transition person. So if you are like strong in the area of being positive and like always assuming the best in students and stuff like that, and maybe there's somebody that isn't, try and be a transition person for them, where you are kind of like a secret role model, you know, like you're showing them how to do it and just hoping that by watching you, they will get better and better at it. You have to make sure that you don't get like dragged down into their whining, but try and just be that person that kind of stands in the middle and helps them become more positive, or, you know, become a better team player or a better collaborator. Just be a model of what you wish other people around you were. But that's really all you can ever do, is just be what you wish other people were. I love that quote, be the change that you want to see in the world. Rather than complaining about the way things are, I just try to make sure that I am how I wish they were. Now my last kind of like suggestion or comment is more of a plea, kind of asking you for something here. So if you are not the new person anymore, try and remember how hard it was to be the new person and really reach out to those new teachers. Thankfully this year there were quite a few teachers at my school that really like intentionally took me under their wing and would explain things to me, like acronyms that were unique to the school that I was always like, what is this? Or like events that they would do every year that I had no idea what they were talking about, or the way that we did holiday stuff. Like this year we did a Secret Santa thing, and it was all week long, and I didn't know that. Like the person that you got for Secret Santa, you were supposed to give them a present every day of this 1 week. Like every day you're supposed to put a present in their little box, and then they would get 5 presents, and then by the end of the week they would have to guess who it was. And I didn't know that, so I just got my person one thing, and I thought you're supposed to just give it to them like at any time during the week. And like little things like that, when you're a new teacher and you don't know those things, you feel so embarrassed and like you're letting people down, and you don't have time to go fix it, and like you're still trying to teach. So just little things like that, if you can let the new teachers in on what you guys do and how you do things, that's so helpful. I mean, that's part of why I have this channel now, because I feel like I learned things through my first couple years of teaching, and I just wanted to like pass that knowledge on to everybody else coming up, because there's a lot of things that just nobody ever tells you. And I seem to keep being the new person at new schools, but once I'm finally like established, I really want to be that kind of a teacher and that kind of a team member, staff member that welcomes in the new people and kind of shows them the ropes and makes them feel like they have somebody that they could ask questions of. So please be that person if you're not the newbie. And I'm sure there are so many other tips and tricks that people have for dealing with, you know, the more difficult coworkers, or for really building those relationships with other coworkers. So if you've got some, please leave those down below. I always feel like the comment section on these YouTube videos are just another resource for you and another resource for me. It's just like a little message board where we can all get new information. And I'm linking Smartie Style's channel below, so don't forget to go check her out. She has really cute style. Like, I really like how she dresses. In her vlog, she always shows you like what she's wearing every morning, and then she takes you with her to school. So if you like that style of video where you actually get to like feel like you're going to work with somebody and kind of shadowing them, definitely watch her videos and subscribe and like and all that good stuff. I have a few other collaboration videos coming up just because I'm loving the fact that I have a little bit of extra time this summer and I can actually like get back to people's emails and like text people and message people and like set up days to shoot and upload and edit and all that kind of stuff. So if every single one of my videos could be a collab, I would be happy. That would be like my ideal, because I always think that you need more perspectives and opinions than just mine. I've got quite a few coming up this summer. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in one of those upcoming videos. Bye.